Welcome to the Caviar and Candy podcast. I'm your host, Paula Conway, and today I'm joined by my colleague, Maya Lubarov. Maya, welcome.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Maya has joined me to help produce some episodes of the once again newly relaunched Caviar and Candy podcast. And today she wants to interview me. So we're just going to get started. Maya, where do you want to start?
Well, Paula, I saw on your Instagram that you had a great time at the Tryall Club in Jamaica and that you had a lot of your free time playing tennis there. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Tryall Club?
All right, so setting the scene, we are in the tropics. As far as I'm concerned, we are in Jamaica right now. Thank you for asking me about Tryall. And I just want to say that I love that you pronounced it Tryall because that's how the Jamaicans pronounce it. In the way the locals explain it to me, they said Americans say trial, but locally they say Tryall. So we can interchange and go back and forth because technically, both are correct. Um, so, explaining Tryall, it is an ocean facing sanctuary. It is about 20 minutes from the airport if you have no traffic. If you have traffic, it could be an hour, it could be an hour and a half. And that's one of the worst things about Jamaica is that traffic to the airport, there's only a couple feeds on the island to the airport, towards the airport, and they're always usually really busy. So you got to factor it all in. It sits just outside of Montego Bay in Sandy Bay in Hanover Parish. And another thing that's really interesting about Tryall, so this is a member-owned property. It is a gated community. It is a very safe and secure community. The homes are member-owned largely. Um, there are a lot of celebrities there who own homes there. A lot of people in communications and journalism and TV and film. Um, Titans of industry, senators, congressmen, etc. And you would never know it because a lot of these people will travel with a bodyguard, but they won't at Tryall. They feel safe. And it's because it's very much a family, meaning that yes, families own homes there, but everybody there feels like they're part of the Tryall family. An interesting little fact about Tryall is that Lennox Lewis, who's one of boxing's greatest legends, became the first prominent Black homeowner at Tryall. And that really started this trend of very high profile people, and a lot of local Jamaicans own homes there, which is really nice. So you feel the culture, the Jamaican culture in Tryall. Like you go there for that as much as anything else. Um, Owners rent their villas, which are basically homes. They call them villas, but they're homes. They're big, they're houses on a week in these like weekly blocks. So they could range on the low end from $393 per night for 1 and 2 bedrooms, or a great house villa, which could be up to $8,000 for one of the standalone villas. I was in a standalone villa, and that one was more towards the $10,000 a night. It was a 4 to 5 bedroom, right overlooking the ocean. I mean, absolutely stunning. And the facilities are phenomenal. So within the property, you have an 18-hole golf course. You have a brand new spa, Livity Spa, which is this really serene, relaxing, wellness inducing environment. I did a sound bath there, sound and yoga bath, which I highly recommended. When you combine the sound bath, which is the singing bowls, with the yoga, it just really is transportive. It's a really good thing to do once you get there because it just kind of grounds you and like, okay, you're on vacation now. You're at Tryall. You're going to, this is how it's going to go. Um, the beach bar and grill is where people will gather, for lunch and snacks during the day. If you're on the beach, like if you take the family and you go to the beach, they also have a brand new ocean bar and restaurant at the Tryall Club. And the thing that's really cool about this is that cocktail hour is this super buzzy boozy affair. Everybody's there. The families, everybody gathers there. They have amazing cocktails. They have incredible bartenders, and people just really gather for that pre-meal cocktail hour as a tradition. Um, Tennis, phenomenal, just phenomenal. So an interesting thing about the tennis is that at Tryall, the tradition is wearing all white. Now, the all white tradition goes back to the first Wimbledon championship in 1877, and it's called tennis whites. And this is a dress code that originally became associated with Victorian era propriety and upper class leisure. And it became a formalized rule by the 1890s, I'd say. And so you really know that you are on a luxury property by that rule alone. So you can't wear anything else except white. White sneakers, white socks, white shorts or skirts, white tops. It's all white. And it's really kind of a beautiful thing. Um, the golfing, phenomenal. You're golfing on the ocean. So, wow. The pro golfers are the ones that are teaching you. Private lessons are happening early in the mornings, like at 6 a.m., because it's extremely hot there, even in the shoulder months, the off season. So you want to start at 5. You can start at 5, 5:36. Absolutely. Yeah, what else?
That's amazing. You mentioned about how tennis is an integral part of the club's culture. How would you describe this on the courts on a day-to-day basis?
So the courts are busy between that 5 and 9 a.m. hour. And it is largely private instruction. I mean, you will have families that reserve court time that are playing and couples reserving court time that are playing. But you see a lot of pros playing with members who are really good tennis players because they book the pros who are also the tennis instructors because they're phenomenal and you're going to get a great workout. And that's what you want. You want to play tennis, you want to get a great workout. So for example, when I was there at 6 a.m. for the mornings that I was there, and I had a pro who was teaching me, and I hadn't had lessons out on that level since I was a kid. And just in those few days that I was there, I got really good. Like everything really sharpened up there. These are champion instructors. These are people who have championship tennis players and pros who have, what am I trying to say? They have placed and received awards all over the world for their tennis. So this is not just any, tennis club. Um, you're also the tennis courts are right next to the pickleball courts. Those are always full. It's such a big trend that is just continuing. I mean, it's been a trend for 5, 6 years or more, but it's just continuing. So pickleball, I don't personally know how to play pickleball. It's very different, I'm told. The pro explained to me that it's really different. But it's something that I want to play. I do have pickleball rackets, ironically, but I have never played.
You can test it out one of these days.
Yeah.
Um, but how do you feel that the club's, or do you believe that the club's private member-owned structure influences the tennis culture differently from a traditional resort?
Yeah, I do. I think that it's a really different feel. First of all, it's the whole environment there is very controlled, but not in a stiff way. It's as if you're among friends and family, yet always obeying the rules, like only white on the courts. And you feel very safe within the grounds. Generally speaking, the staff to guest relationship is also familial. The homes there, they come with staff built in. So the families hire their own chef, house manager, butler, what have you. And this way, they always know what the family likes, how you like your coffee in the morning, what snacks to prepare throughout the day, what your allergies or aversions are, when you want to play tennis, when you want to have lunch. And that goes to the guests who are staying there in their homes. So you rent this house, but you are inheriting the home staff. That is your family, and they are part of the owner's family. So when you have tennis lessons, for example, they set them up. They take care of everything for you. It's not something you have to do. And in the mornings, if you need a reminder, they're there to help you get breakfast, get out the door. Um, they have golf carts everywhere on the island, and that's really what you take to get around. If you want somebody to drive you, they'll make arrangements for that as well. But the tennis culture in particular is very different from the formalities of wearing white only, to the pro level instruction, really high level pro level instruction, to how they really tend to everything for you.
That's very unique and also nice to know that it's very tailored to your personal experience. We talked a lot about the tennis culture, but can you kind of go into what elements of the Tryall Club stood out to you outside of the luxury tennis experience?
Yes. So again, let's talk about the tradition. It's very tradition based. There's daily tea in the Great House, which is right off of the ocean. And that's just there for any guest or member who wants to enjoy it. The tennis whites, again, tradition. Cocktail hour. It's a tradition. Um, Another tradition are the beach buffets and entertainment. So the food is incredible. It's incredible at your house because these chefs are hand selected and the staff are hand selected for the house. For example, in the house where I stayed, and I can't remember the name of this house, but in the house where I stayed, let me see if I can find out what I'm talking to you. Um, it was, oh, Celestial. That's where I stayed, Celestial. Um, there is a chef there, and she's a local Jamaican woman, just amazing. And she made these chocolate chip cookies. There's a lot of chocolate chip cookie recipes, but I have to tell you, they're the best I've ever had.
Wow.
She will not give up the recipe, not for love nor money, to anyone. She wouldn't. I tried. And she'll kind of smile and be like, yeah, 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 I'll write it down for you. It just never happens. It's just not gonna happen. It's highly coveted. But she also made a lot of great alternatives for me because I have allium allergies, which is a big one because they use lots of onion, garlic, shallots, chives, and spices, and I can't have any of it. So um, she made it look easy. And the nighttime beach parties, oh yeah, that was gonna say, they have live bands and incredible performers and these amazing buffet style dinners that are so fun and formally oriented. So they put out these tables on the beach, and it's always a celebration of culture and life. And you think about a beach buffet and you think, how can they possibly make this delicious? But that's just it. Everything is so done at such a high bar there. They maintain an incredibly high bar in everything that they do. And we had like tables on the beach, and then there's a whole buffet section out to the side. And then there's a live concert going on, and everybody's dancing. The kids are dancing between the tables, the owners are dancing between the tables. Like you're basically dancing over to get your buffet dinner, while you're listening to this beautiful music. And at a certain point, everybody's on stage dancing, like it doesn't stop. The golf instruction, I want to just talk about that too. Same level as tennis. These are pro golfers, and everything is relaxed and not rushed. They also, again, very cultural. They have something called social swing, which is a few rounds of golf and cocktails. So let's say you just want to get a little bit of golf instruction, but you really want to enjoy your cocktails. They have it created so that you can just do that. You can always just order that up,
Wow,
but
that's
that's
really
another
nice.
tradition.
That's lovely. Do you see any trends in how luxury hotels and resorts are integrating tennis into their overall guest experience?
Yeah, so right now they're calling it a racket renaissance
Mm.
because it's becoming so popular between tennis and pickleball. So there's more private lessons, more people actually want to know how to play, and they actually want to be good and competitive, even if it's only with their family members. It's more tennis first travel. So it's tennis that's structured around courts, locations, a lot more luxury travel. There are a lot of more integrations. So you have tennis and fashion, tennis and celebrity partnerships. So you have leading pros, like Rafael Nadal. So he's a former champ. He's Spanish. He had 22 Grand Slams. He's doing a lot of these partnerships at luxury resorts like Tryall. Paddle courts. So I am not a paddle court. I'm not a paddle player, but apparently they are 1/3 the size of the tennis court, and they combine the elements of tennis and squash. So with the paddle courts, with the pickleball, and with the tennis, you definitely have racket renaissance.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing.
And thank you for joining us on today's exceptional episode of Caviar and Candy podcast, exploring the Tryall Club or Tryall Club in Jamaica. Join us right here for more episodes on luxury, travel, and lifestyle. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Paula Conway NYC.